You cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanya Diamond.
And hello, it's me from really dark Seattle.
Yeah, it's getting dark earlier now, and it's cold.
But you know what freaks me out?
What freaks you out?
What freaks me out is the fact that every year it freaks me out that it's dark.
Well,
it's like, hello, excuse me, this happens. You know what? It's like when I had my period. When I used to have my period, every month, I'd be really
just surprised
that I was really exhausted.
I think there's a phenomenon to living in the Northwest. When it rains here, we're shocked.
No, I'm not shocked.
When the sun comes out, we're shocked. When it's cold, we're like, my God, I'm having to wear a sweater. I lived in Maine for 3 years. It's just part of the process. But for some reason, it's shocking here in the Northwest. So it gets dark. And
I'm
it's
not shocked about that.
Wow, where's the sun? It's December. Sorry.
I am shocked about the people that keep telling me, I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic was really bad. Hello, people. The traffic has been bad for 10 years. So it's kind of like the whole thing. So apparently I'm shocked about the fact that it gets dark and that I used to have a period every month. And then
it's daylight savings out here. It really messes with people. They catch up to it in the springtime.
Ah, that's what happens. Well, you know what? It's been a while, but we actually have a guest this evening.
We do.
And I'm trying to I'm hacking into my own email account. I'm attempting to hack into my email account here.
You want me to send a message to Max?
because
the hacking code?
She has sent me an email to talk about our compatibility based on something that she does, that she's an expert at.
Oh, now I really want to know.
Which is,
you know, I love suspense.
Our voices.
Really?
And what our voices say about us. And this is Sherry Edwards. Hello, Sherry.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
So, tell us more of this.
Do you want to reveal on the air your secrets?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, first tell us about you, though. Tell us about why this is so fascinating and what it is you do.
Well, growing up, I could always hear sounds from people coming from the side of their head.
Side of their heads?
Ear. Really from their ear, we found out. Johns Hopkins University proved it. And these sounds are an otoacoustic emission that really is coming out of our mouth at the same time, and it tells us what's going on in our body, how we're functioning.
Okay, hang on 1 second. So we're having the sound. Now, is it sound when we're talking?
Yes, sound when you're with your voice.
Okay, and it's coming out of our mouth, but it's also coming out of?
Your ear.
Our ears. Okay, all right.
What's coming out of your ear is so much higher than normal hearing. Your brain picked it up, and that's how you send off a signal to somebody, well, I'm interested or I'm not. And sometimes people are just too dumb to pick up on that yay or nay signal.
Ooh.
But
wait, say that again?
Yeah. So listen, she's saying that because, the voice, the sound that's coming out of our ear is telling us more about what's going on.
About someone's health.
Or health and interest.
Health and interest.
In other
Hang
people.
on a sec.
He's getting comfortable
I've got to sit
now.
down. I'm
sit
still standing here. I apologize. I'm not very focused at the moment, and you know.
He's interested now, though. He's all of a sudden
as a tracker, as an educator, and as a radio show, whatever I am.
Josh gives off a lot of C and C sharp energy.
C and C sharp energy.
And women respond to that.
Oh.
Or women emotions respond to that.
You're just saying that to get on my good side.
Hey, I sent it in your email. I didn't even know.
I'm still trying to hack into my password.
We did this. It's kind of neat. You're also a multitasker, so you can switch directions when somebody changes on you in the middle of the screen.
We'll talk more personally about that later. Tanya might.
Well, he did okay last week when in the middle of a coughing fit and he wasn't paying attention. He was reading something on his email. All of a sudden I yelled at him and said, or coughed and said, and Josh is talking, as I bolted out of
I respond well to emergencies. I'm hyper aware, so I'm listening in different places for when I need to go there.
Okay, so C to C sharp.
C to C sharp.
And she picked this up by probably listening to one of our radio shows.
Okay.
I did. The one about the funny vaginal sounds that some lady was complaining about.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, there's a good one. I wonder what her vagina was saying.
That's more of a D.
It probably is more topic specific.
Right.
That's really funny. And where would the sounds from the yoni come from?
Sort of,
Would they
kind
come
of
out of the ear too?
Anterior,
well, any place
posterior.
there is a vacant spot, and the sound rushes in to fill it up. You get a sound
Out of the rectum.
So depending on whether or not the person's laying on their back, from anatomy perspective, that would be an anterior-posterior sound emission.
Yes.
Wow, this is so cool. Okay, and what about mine? What about
Your
my voice?
Let's see. What did I say about your voice? I sent it in here. You're more directed and pointed.
No.
On task, but it's something physical. But again, you were only talking about this lady's strange sounds her boyfriend was complaining about.
Right.
But I sent you a whole printout here. Your voice says your stamina to get things done, accomplished, is admirable. You just want the general one, or you want the compatibility one?
Josh is my compatibility?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's hear about that. That's
Okay.
Racy. That's Racy as radio co-host.
Okay.
I'm
Your
making
best-
eyes at her from across the table right now, because that's
Your
what I get to do.
Your best sound that you would be most compatible with, if you didn't fight about it, but you guys are compatible, is G sharp. And G sharp, and I sent you a little chart, deals with physical issues. And all of yours together means that you want to do something with physical issues to make something useful. And your best activity would be something that requires physical usefulness, but also allows some kind of management of some kind of enlightened outcome.
Well, I am always trying to get him to take out the trash. That does have an enlightened outcome, I think, because then the house doesn't smell.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about me or Max?
Wait, no, you.
Me?
You. It was she, and she listened to our voices.
Right.
Right, our compatibilities.
Right.
You are massaging me tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'm not taking out the trash.
You don't know that yet.
We could give him a sound, just make him blissful, and he'll just follow you everywhere.
No.
I'll just be G-sharping him all over the place.
G-sharping.
And then,
I was trained from a very young age to actually respond paradoxically when I'm being manipulated in that way. We would say that's sort of like, growing up in a monastery, but actually it was my older cousin. Every time she would go, Joshy, I'd run the other way.
maybe that wasn't a G-sharp.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
That
I'll
would
keep
be
listening.
a C and C sharp that makes him respond to women's hormones.
Oh.
A good activity would be compatibility for you. Maybe put a group together to go learn something that would enlighten people.
Well, isn't that weird?
Funny you
What
should
are we
mention.
doing? Isn't that strange? And of
What are
course,
you doing?
Well, he's part of my team Tantra, and we're basically taking on the world and eradicating sexual spiritual ignorance.
And our intent is for me to be a co-leader with Tanya.
How many decades do you have?
Oh, we don't. Well, with a couple. Actually, no. Oh, you mean to make that mission?
Yes.
Oh, that mission will happen. That's going to happen so fast. Basically, as soon as I think in the next 7 years, you're going to see huge impact from what we're doing. Because it's the ripple effect, Sherry, right? It's not just like one or two people. It's those 1 to 2 people that then exponentially increase because they've reached, 10 people, which then boom, 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 that kind of thing. Like 6 degrees of separation.
I would love it, but I live in the Bible Belt.
Well, you know
yes.
what? I taught at Trinity University in Canada, very, very hardcore Christian school. And so people like me because I'm all about, helping people love each other better and compatibility for passion for a lifetime so people can actually remain monogamous. And that's really what we want, right? If you're in a relationship.
If that's what two people agree on, that's great.
Right.
But sexual freedom just,
Yeah.
if you want 3 wives or something, people really frown on that.
Well,
for
they
some
do.
reason.
Yeah, that's not so cool. I mean, if you want 3 wives and everybody's happy about it, then I think you should be happy with it.
Absolutely. My grandson has 2 wives,
Excellent. I think.
They get along wonderfully.
Well, you know what? I knew a guy once who had been raised in a situation where he had one father, and I think there were 6 wives in the house, and he said, he would never in a million years do that because, quite frankly, the people who ruled the house were the women, and they would all get together and decide when the husband was going to have sex and who it was going to be with, after he had done everything that needed to be done in the, in the church. So, that guy did not rule his castle. And so, quite frankly, I think he said that everybody was really happy. All the kids were taken care of really great because there was enough attention for everybody. You've got your own tribe and
school and culinary school, you name it. You've got high level of care.
Yep. So I think that was, for them, that worked out really great.
It makes me contemplate again whether or not I'm not going to go there.
Josh is doing 6 months of celibacy, so he's working that edge right now.
Yeah.
So he can't have two wives.
Should become powerfully enlightened with all that energy going.
Exactly.
That's right.
How to really use it. And Chris and I had great conversations last night about all that stuff.
And Chris is another member of our team. He's my financial guy. So, okay, Sherry, what else? What other wonderful things would you like to tell us? Whether it's about us or about you, I want So tell us. So, what do you do with this knowledge? What do you do with it?
I run a research center in Ohio, and what I did with you guys is just fun stuff to look at compatibilities. All of us want sex. We're genetically wired for sex.
I know. I keep saying that.
The trouble comes along when we don't know how to get it. We don't know how to perform it.
Exactly.
So the issues that we look at for people using this little program that we give away for free and teach people how to use it, we just think it'll make the place a better world. So we take a recording of the voice and we look at the frequencies in the voice and divide it up into notes. So with you guys having G sharp is the color of blue. It's a Capricorn it's Sagittarius kind of issue. You guys are right on the border, so it's Sagittarius, Capricorn. So we can see who's compatible, who's going to get along, what you're going to fight about, what you're not going to fight about. So how do you approach somebody in a bar? Do you have some pickup line or whatever? We're going to have this on iPod soon, so you can look at someone's voice.
What's my most ideal pickup line based on my voice and tone?
Yeah.
I love it.
And we are going to give this away to people if they want it.
How cool is that?
So the address is nano, N-A-N-O, voice, nanovoice.org. Takes 2 or 3 minutes to download, but you'll need a microphone, and it tells you what microphone there. It's a USB Logitech microphone that we recommend, but you could use any microphone you want. You have handy around the house, and you can do this over the phone. Somebody's calling, they want to set up a date or whatever. You can watch their intent. You can see if they're lying. If their E and A sharp does not match, they are fibbing to you.
When you say if their E and A sharp don't match, what does that mean?
Okay, we take all the frequencies in your voice. We ignore the words. We only look at the frequencies. Like the note of A is 440 cycles per second. So we look at the frequency and we divide them up into notes, into categories, 12 categories.
Okay.
And C is ego and self and I want it my way. And C sharp is I want it to be fair. You have a lot of that, Josh.
Okay.
D sharp is like sharing information. D is the people person. E is words. F and F sharp are male sexuality.
That's probably what I have a lot of.
Frequencies. If you were to talk about that, we probably could do it.
Yeah.
Look at it over the phone. But we divide this up, and then we have a chart that I've sent you, and anybody can download that. And, this is in our language all the time anyway. We just found out and putting it in categories and wrote the computer program. Like red with rage, green with envy, feeling blue. It's all there. We took those ideas, we translated them just using physics to translate the note of green into a frequency.
This is so cool.
And then we look at people's voices, and this is just the fun part of what we can do with this.
I am so incredibly, I am intrigued, and you know what, it takes I'm intrigued by a lot of things, but I am completely, utterly, I knew when I first saw this, and this is why I contacted, and this was quite a long time ago, because then when you had the flu, and then I had 2 flus, and then it's been a while to get you on here, but I knew that this was going to be something that really rocked my world. Now, Sherry, you're going to have to give us a moment here, because I have a very special person who's called in, and his name is Ron, so you get to listen to his voice. He's probably going to think this is great, too. And Ron is one of my Inner Circle members, and he's from the East Coast, and it looks like he's called in. So let's see what Ron has to say. Hello, Ron.
Good evening, Lady Diamond.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Ron, how are you?
Josh, my
Listen
man.
to that deep, sexy voice.
Does he have an amazing voice?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Listen, my call is totally outside of the scope of what you all are talking about.
And we're okay with that.
I want to talk about the incredibly timely, fortuitous phone calls that Tanya makes to me when I'm in the throes of
These
fluid business situations. I'm building now. Again, I called. I originally contacted Tanya for sexual counseling, but she won't talk to me about that. So instead, we've begun to develop this global empire that I'm building, and to heal the world's water. We have the technology, and since I've met her, I've replaced anger, anxiety, resentment because of the years of experience with people who engendered those emotions in me, and let it go and learn to deal from compassion and integrity and character. And so I'm in like several transactions, and somehow Tanya has the intuition to call me when those things are in flux, and I explain to her the players, the issues, whether they be legal, technical, banking, operations, investments. I mean, there's a myriad of issues that an entrepreneur has to deal with and keep a level head, and again, deal from a position of integrity, regardless of what it may look like or what the outcome is. You tell the truth, and that's that's what they got to accept. So in each of these instances, I can think of 5 where I was in those types of situations that could have easily caused anxiety, and maybe taking a shortcut was something I might have been thinking about. And that's something that I did for a long time now, So I mean, I don't claim to be righteous, for all my life, and I certainly haven't been. But I think you can set this call in posterity, because some massive things are happening with my company and my technology and myself. And listen, Tanya, you're a very special person, and anybody who's listening to this needs to understand that her expertise expands far beyond what she was talking to, what she talks to most people about. Because again, I said I called her about sexual counseling, but I guess that's something that's going to occur sometime in the distant future. I don't know.
Am I ever going to get to the good stuff, is what you're saying?
But that the transformation, the metamorphosis of Ron McElwain and Filter Shore is in large part attributable to the conversations that I have with Tanya Diamond, and I'm in gratitude. So, and I love to hear what you have to tell me about my voice if you're doing anything, because if I could transfer that into some of these social situations, that would be a bonus. So, but again, like Tanya said, and I agree, this is not the time to put my energy there. So, with that, I'll answer any questions or be quiet.
Well, Ron, I want to say thank you. I mean, you have, by leaps and bounds, you and your company have taken off from not being listened to expanding globally. with contracts, and we're talking, we're talking worldwide, international, huge company that's taking off here. And he's not talking Brita filters. He's talking global technology of healing the planet's water. And we do have a kind of gratitude fest, you and I, Ron, because I have to say, out of all the people in my Inner Circle program, you follow my directive almost without question, including when I told you, deliver the speech in the boardroom and then get up and walk off if they don't give you what you want. And that was a big risk, a big thing to do, and you did it, and it turned around for you. So you are doing the work, Ron. I am making the suggestions, and you are doing the work. And so for that, congratulations to you for taking the action and the steps and stepping into integrity completely and, following your vision, because you're going to heal the planet. And, I'm happy to be part of that. So, congratulations to you, and thank you so much for your gratitude, and I certainly have gratitude too for you for your vision, and I'm happy to be part of making that happen.
Can I ask Ron a question?
Of course, Sherry.
They're trying to make a law here that all of our wells, and we live in a rural area in Appalachia, and they're trying to take over all of our wells and say the water is theirs, government, even though we paid to have it drilled, we did this, we did this. Is there any way to stop this if you're leading a company toward cleaning up the waters? How about keeping the waters safe for the people? Because I don't want them coming in and putting bleach and crap in my well.
Well, let me say this: I don't have anything to do with the law. Okay. What our system does, we look at the contamination in your water. All right. And once we have identified all of the contaminants, we then customize our system to remove the contaminants by particle size distribution in a solid composition, and then disinfect all of the pathogens. Now, the advantage of our system is very simple. It's the least expensive, and it's the longest lasting with regard to the equipment, and the water quality is sustained. So if, in fact, you can install systems such as the one I described in your on your wells, there would be no reason for the law to
change, yeah,
take it over. Because you're producing clean water. But again, there's an expense to that, and the government wants to control it. The government or the local regulating community will want to control that. So, it's hard. We've had the answer for years. I think Tanya knows that. But it's going through plowing through the bureaucratic morass to solve problems such as those you describe, and all over the world. All right, it's an uphill climb, but again, we're going to do it. I can see it now more clearly than I ever could, and again, that's based upon just redirecting my focus and my attention. And I hope I answered your question. We can do this.
And I was taking a peek at your voice to see the difference between what you said to Tanya and what your business is.
Right.
You're one of the very few people I've ever heard their voice so living in the now.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful voice. And I don't mean living in the now for this moment and not adhering to anything else. I mean living in the now as being conscious of what your body, your mind, and your soul wants, all in combination, and acting on that.
Yay.
Well, look. Huh. that is Tanya is there's always this exponential revelation that goes beyond. You got people that are talking to you that are telling me. Well, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to do this, and
you are doing this.
Well, yeah, we are. Yeah, you're right. We're doing this. Now again, I had to correct that. We are doing it. I hope that maybe if you talk to Tanya, you can get some information to me. I can put together a process, a sort of process path forward for you and the people who want to take on the regulators, and tell them that there are solutions that are far beyond. Because what they're going to do is come in and drop chemicals, like you say, drop chemicals in your wells.
Yeah, fluoride and bleach. And
that's not necessary.
Well, I will get you guys in touch with each other.
Okay.
There's some interesting things in his voice. It says you have a strong sense of justice, fairness, and truth. You work well with others who often put you in a leadership position. You have the ability to allow others to use your strength and support for their own needs. Others see you as having leadership potential but resent you for the same reason.
Yes.
You push yourself and others to finish the job. You love new ideas that mean you can have a project to work on. So Tanya can send me your email address, and I'll send you this report. This is not me saying it. That's the computer that said that about you.
How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
We love
Talk
this.
about personal alignment, Ron.
Well, we're talking about fortuitous. We're talking about propitious. We're talking about timeliness. Now, I called you this time, Tanya.
Mm-hmm, you did.
So, look, I'm just so encouraged and enlightened by, what is the young lady's name I'm listening to now?
This is Sherry.
Sherry, and you have a very musical voice yourself. So, I mean, this is, I guess, Josh, you and me are the only ones with these mellifluous tones, huh?
I just was reading on down through here, and one of the things it says in your voice, when in doubt, have the courage to go to the source and ask for clarification. And that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, Ron. I mean, once again, you are doing the work. You're the one that's getting out there every day and living by these adages that we're working on, right? We're working on the just simple. It's pretty simple. It's breathe.
Yes.
It's come from compassion always.
Mm-hmm.
It's line up with your integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's take action.
Mm-hmm.
And some fearless action every once in a while, right?
All the time.
Well, Ron, I think you rock. So I'm very, very, very happy with all the progress you're making and with your company, because your company is going to heal the water and the planet. And we're talking everywhere from Africa, Asia, everywhere. And you're making it happen, and the world will be thanking you not that long from now. So, you just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be in gratitude like we always are.
You certainly are. Thank you, folks. God bless you. And I know you'll call me when you need to, Tanya. Or when I need you to. Just put it that way.
I sure will, Ron.
Hey, Josh, take care, my man.
Yeah, you too. It's great to hear your voice.
And Sherry, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
All right.
Beautiful
Bye-bye.
voice.
Bye, Ron.
And one of the things about Ron's voice is he was talking to you about something very personal, and all this emotional stuff came up. Then he talked about his job, and it filled in his chart so completely.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it very even and very harmonious, the two charts together.
Awesome.
So it says that his job completes him as a person.
Yeah.
We had a lady come in one day, and she said, I don't know what's the matter with me. I can't finish my book. And I said, okay, talk to me about if there was no other person on the planet, you're the only one, what would you do? And she talked all about writing this book and how wonderful it would be, and it totally filled in her voice. And I said to her, that book is so important to your life and the harmony in your life. On the days you don't work on it, you cannot breathe either. It's that important. And so she took it up and started writing her book, and then her voice filled in because her own voice, well, talking through me and saying, that's important to you, but her own voice showed her how important that was to complete who she was.
Well, I am, excuse me, I am absolutely thrilled that you have gone through all of this curiosity and inquisitiveness to come up with this. And we are going to, we're going to talk more about this. I'm going to do a word from our sponsor here, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk more with Sherry as she tells us about ourselves and our voices.
You know I love to hear more about myself.
I know you always like to hear about it, but right now we have to talk about our sponsors. And right now our sponsor is Who's sponsoring us again?
AdamandEve.com.
AdamandEve.com.
I love AdamandEve.com.
He's
If
having
you
a love
haven't been to
affair.
their website yet, go check out their website. The ease of use, beautiful pictures, of course. All kinds of things to educate, to tantalize, to titillate. Those who want to enhance their relationship, their lovemaking, their play, their fun.
And maybe it's not even enhance their relationship as much as it is enhance their sex life, which enhances your relationship.
Well,
Or
yeah,
like-
I mean, that's how I class.
and enhance your experience. But AdamandEve.com is a sponsor of Tantra, Love, Sex, and Intimacy. You, too, can be a sponsor. And our best sponsor is somebody that has an online business that wants international exposure to thousands and thousands of people, because that's what we've got going on listening to our show.
Absolutely.
So AdamandEve.com right now, they are rocking because they are looking to give you an amazing deal because you're listening to this show. So if you have been thinking about adding something into the bedroom, we're not talking a bed. We're talking play toys. We're talking adult toys here.
Adding to what you do in that bed.
Right. And whether you're single or a couple, it's
There's
a
something
great
for
place
you.
to shop, for sure. And so if you've been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy, or yourself, here's an offer you can't resist. Because if you go to AdamandEve.com, for a limited time, you will get 50% off just about any item in there. So that's half off. And
Half
if you're
off
Josh,
just about
that,
anything.
yeah.
Right, that means I'm going to buy two
That
or
means-
twice as much.
That means Josh is buying twice as much. And that's not it, oh no, because when you get your item at 50% off, you will also receive 3 free adult DVDs.
For you, adult for me?
Yeah, for you.
I'm
Free.
flabbergasted.
Right. Plus, now this is my favorite part, a free gift so sensual, I can't mention it on the radio.
Not
I mean,
even
what
you?
in the world could that be? That's
Not even you.
apparently not even me can mention this on the radio. I want to know what that's all about.
I'm calling tomorrow to
All
find
right,
out.
yes. And to top it off, you get free shipping on everything. So, AdamandEve.com for this special offer, 50% off when you type in the magic word. And what's the magic word?
Tanja.
J. That's right. And that was, again, that is Tanja.
J.
That's Tanya. And that's the offer code right there when you check out. So when you do, you get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift that I can't mention apparently, free shipping, 50% off. Go the code TANJA at AdamandEve.com. We're on a break. We'll be back.
Are you one of the 40 million sexless couples in the U.S.? Are you wondering why having sex leaves you feeling lonely? Are you suffering from the myths of sexual dysfunction? Do you know in your heart that there has to be more than what you're currently getting out of making love? To rid yourself of sexual ignorance, get more out of your lovemaking, and find out more about spiritual sexual connection, then you need to check out www.thetantrateacher.com to receive your free copy of the ebook called Secrets of the Tantra Teacher. Don't suffer another minute without the sexual loving and ecstatic bliss you were born to receive. Get to www.thetantrateacher.com right now. That's www.thetantrateacher.com.
Is your sex life non-existent? Do sexual dysfunctions leave you soft? Is internet porn getting more than you are? Or are you paying more attention to porn than your partner? Have you tried talk therapy and it got you nowhere? You are not alone. You can be freed from sexual shame, guilt, and dissatisfaction. A visit to the Tantra Teacher is in order. Call now and mention you heard the Tantra Teacher on the radio and get a very special offer. Stop waiting for a miracle and call right now. 206-276-2735. Phone consultations or in person will get you the information you need to be successful in your love life. But you have to call now. 206-276-2735. Stop making excuses. Call the Tantra Teacher. 206-276-2735.
And we are back. And as usual, I'm not laughing from that break. You weren't being very funny, Joshua.
We were talking. It was serious
I
stuff.
mean, serious stuff?
Gosh, and then he said, "Yeah, 10 seconds," and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I went quiet.
Yeah, I know. And usually you guys are trying to make me laugh.
We're having
and
fun.
do something funny, but okay.
We're learning.
We're learning. I know, because actually this is really cool because, most of the time I have to say, and I know I might sound like I'm bragging, and I know how people hate bragging, even though I don't think of bragging.
Well,
I think it's just kind of how it's like.
out.
You know what? It is exciting for me when I get to learn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love to learn stuff, and I know nothing about what our guest knows, except, I like music. I'm a musical. I hear things when people are talking, but not like this. Okay, This stuff rocks, and I'm wanting to find out so much more about this. So, Sherry, you're back. It's Sherry Edwards. She is what do you call yourself? The sound lady?
Oh, that's a good name.
The sound lady.
The sound whisperer.
The sound whisperer.
I can hear sounds from people. I can duplicate it. And I could have been very rich and made lots of money doing that and saying, okay, your insulin's out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted this to be for the people. So we computerized it all. And so anybody can do this.
So I'm going to give people, just if they just joined us now, I want to give them a little bit. So Sherry has a computer system. This is all scientifically based. And basically what they do is she hooks you up. You can get onto a computer. She's going to tell us more about this at the end, too. And then she listens to your voice, and she can tell you things about yourself, like medical things, too, right?
Yes.
Hormones out of whack or compatibility. It's got the whole gamut, right?
Right.
So, Sherry, we have a caller. So do we want to take our caller, or do you want to talk for a minute before we take our caller?
I'd like to respond to the commercial that was just on.
Okay, do it.
Okay, that you're talking about sex toys and enhancements, and that's great and wonderful, put you in the mood. But if your biochemistry is upset, then you can have a problem. For instance, when serotonin, which is just a chemical made from the body, it's a neurotransmitter, when that is too high, then a woman will stay in a state of arousal, but she'll never have an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can regulate that serotonin, it's going to make those toys make you even happier.
Well, and we always know that, the toys are just part of it. But so now, a woman in high arousal. So, okay, you've run. Is my serotonin too high?
Serotonin is the note of F sharp. Let me look at your...
Do we know that?
F sharp. Your F sharp, a little lower than normal. But you weren't talking about your own arousal.
Ooh.
You were talking about somebody's letter.
Yeah, true enough.
If we did one.
Yeah.
But people, if tryptophan, turkey, and leucine is the other one that helps make serotonin, and phenylalanine too, which is all that sugar,
right?
Aspartame, which excites you, but you just can't get to the good part. Well, I shouldn't say the good.
So if you're a woman out there that's listening to this show and you feel like you've got a lot of arousal going on, but you never really feel satisfied. There's never satisfaction. There's just frustration. Maybe your serotonin levels are too high. Maybe you can call Sherry Edwards or email her, or maybe you can just try doing what? Getting some more turkey?
Well, we'd want to know if it's too high or too low. And
okay.
We do free vocal prints for people.
Excellent.
If they want to go to one of our other sites called Nutra, Nutra Sound.
Nutrasound. Okay.
They can just fill out a little thing and say, I heard you on Tanya's Tantra show. I want to look at my voice, because there's other things that we can look at. There's 5 major chemicals that we would look at. And one of the ones you were talking about before is the bonding chemical.
Mm-hmm. Oxytocin.
Yeah, oxytocin and nitric oxide also. They're about the same note. They're the note of B.
Mm-hmm.
Men who have high F and F sharp are really exciting, but I don't want to say short-term in their performance, but short-term in the duration of the relationship. So high F and F sharp is going to get a lot of performance, but short-term. And if you want a man that's going to be long-term with you, have him have a lot of the notes of B in his voice. And he'll also perform well.
I'm going to have my fiance call in and see what's going on with that. This is intriguing. This is absolutely, I am completely fascinated. And the fact that you're doing this for free is outrageous. And, of course, we're going to be all over your website, and I'm sure the thousands and thousands of people that are listening get ready. We have a caller, Jillian, and Jillian has a question. So, hey, Jillian.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Jillian. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just wanted to know, I'm curious about what my voice does about me?
Well, you're on a terrible phone, number one.
Your voice says you're on a terrible phone.
It sounds like you're underwater to me. Are you on a cell phone? Are you on a cell phone?
Yeah, cell phone. Hold on.
And then whatever you do,
Is that better?
don't listen to the show while you're talking either. If you're listening, turn that off because that'll throw you off.
Okay.
There she is. There's Jillian.
Are you on a land phone or a cell phone?
Cell phone.
Yeah.
Cell phones aren't as good, but we'll try it anyway, and then we'll talk about some of these other chemicals. Let me set it up here. I snuck and did this while Ron was talking, so I know. And doing this.
You'll type away there, and I'll say that, so we're going to, of course, this is going to excite people all over the place. Like, tell me about my voice. Tell me about my voice. So what I'm always interested in knowing, too, is how intuitive are we about how our voices sound? Because
people respond to the voice.
Right.
Men respond to me because my voice is dopamine. And that's exciting. That's like a comfort to them.
Yeah.
Okay, what's our caller's name?
Jillian.
Jill?
G.
Jillian. Okay, I got it. Okay, you go ahead and talk until I come back about anything that you want answered. I'm plugging you up to the computer now.
So okay. Jillian, do you have a question for me, and then we can talk about it, or
Well, you can't be on here, Tanya.
No, I won't be, but she'll talk.
Okay.
Okay, I was just curious about how I am sexually and how I can improve my sex life, how I can be more comfortable in relationships, and be more of me.
Okay, she quit, so I stopped the computer.
Okay.
What she has caught in between is, I want to do this, no one think about it. No one to do it, no one to think about it. And it's real obvious in her chart that she is responsive, but then she thinks about it. And
too much in her head.
Yeah, too much in her head. Let me save this so I can ask the computer what it wants to say.
So, before the computer, what I will say there is the serious upbringing of sex is dirty, save it for the one you love type of thing. And so consequently, Jillian, in my opinion here, what I've heard is that Jillian is very, very interested in being sexual, but also, like most of us, before getting educated, not really sure how to completely let go and just go out and have a fabulous time because of past programming. But go ahead with the...
Well, she puts herself aside for the benefit of others, and she's very intuitive, and she expects other people to be intuitive about what her needs are, and they aren't. So she kind of gets left out, and not a lot is provided back to her.
Too much giving and not good receiving.
Yes, but she wants things to be very fair about what's going on, and she loves appreciation, and that's probably her love style, appreciation. And anybody who appreciates her, she's going to care about them forever. And anybody that shows any unappreciation, it just will ruin a relationship. So learning your love styles, and she doesn't have to be structured to be comfortable in it, and she also needs to follow those little odd, creative things that come to her in strange moments, and not be afraid to try something new because of somebody else's rejection.
What do you think about that, Jillian?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Sounds good.
Does that sound familiar? Does that resonate for you?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely don't know how to let go, and then, I usually do give more than I receive and all that.
Well, let me tell you about that. For one, almost all women on the planet are afraid to totally receive because they think men are going to be bored, or they're worried about their own bodies, how they look, how they smell, how they feel, whatever. We talk about this a lot, that unless you are willing to receive the adoration that you desire, you will never get it. So part of it is not demanding, but part of it is just languishing. I've learned to stick my hands under my head
Being willing to
Kick
let a
back
man
and-
adore you, honor you, in all the ways you want to be appreciated. The lead on that is allowing.
Right. And go ahead.
One of the things that's in her chart is that when she talks to somebody, they are really drawn to her by what she is saying. But once she gets into a relationship with them, she tries to manage, and that's what sends people away.
Well, that's fear. I mean, that is one of those things. One of those things that is really, most women have, which is the whole fear thing. Fear if I let go, what's going to happen? If I trust the man I'm with, things are going to go wrong. And unless you can trust in a relationship, you can't have a relationship. And control is all about being afraid that things are going to go wrong, and then things do go wrong. And Billy just handed me a note. Christina wants her voice decoded. She calls every show. Does she call? Did she? Oh, she hasn't called me before. Okay, sorry. I thought she's been calling me, and I'm kind of like, Christina, are you calling me? You haven't called me. Okay.
Can you ask Christina to go to the Nutrisounds? Because we have...
just a few more minutes here.
Yeah, we need to cover some things that are really important.
So, Christina, sorry I can't get you on right now. And go to Nutrisounds.com.
And have him do her voice there, and we'll have fun with it. We'll
Excellent.
have more time.
All right.
One of the things I want to talk about is, again, back to this commercial, with sex therapists. They can try to talk you through things, they can give you toys, whatever, but unless you have the pieces together in your chemistry, nothing's going to happen. And I want to give people 5 things that they need to have in their chemistry before this is going to work.
Okay. 5 things. Get your pens and paper.
One is called PEA, and it's phenylethylamine.
PEA.
Phenylethylamine. Okay. It's found mostly in chocolate.
That's why women love chocolate so much, trying to reproduce love feelings.
Yeah, so have your chocolate before sex.
There's
some other inflammation.
How about before and during?
Yes, why not? And the darker, the better.
Yep.
Darker chocolate. Dopamine, which is all of that feel-good stuff, but if you have too much, you can get anxiety. Am I doing this right? Is my leg okay over here? Blah, blah, blah.
You're doing great.
So dopamine, epinephrine, and epinephrine allows the penis to engorge, but it also can cause a problem with flushing and things like that. If there's too much of it, or just too much anxiety, it can cause your blood sugar to go up. So you have to balance all these things.
Okay, and that's what you can help us do. You're giving us the rundown of what we need, and then how you can help us let us know where we are by using our voices on your machine, right?
Well, it's just a little computer program.
On the computer.
And the phenylethylamine is the note of B.
Okay.
Dopamine is the note of D sharp. Epinephrine is the note of F sharp. Norepinephrine. Now, if you got too much norepinephrine, this triggers hostility and irritability, but it also is responsible for the flush a woman gets after an orgasm. And that's the note of F. And F and F sharp is what controls men's relationships with themselves and their head and their sex. And so epinephrine and norepinephrine is really, really important there. The serotonin is also the note of F, but it causes women more issues than men. If it's too low, they're not even interested.
Okay.
And then oxytocin for women in the bonding chemical. More older men have oxytocin. And nitric oxide, which also helps sustain an erection. That's the note of B. So is that 5?
No, that's 7, I think.
Run down them real quick for us again.
Well, the main one is the PEA, the dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, serotonin.
Serotonin, okay.
Is that the 5?
That's 5.
And when people get this little program and download it, and I mean, there's no commercials, nothing. It's free. And they don't understand what all of this is, and they don't have their notes. We have a class that will teach people to use this, and it's free.
It's free, everybody. Do you hear her? She keeps saying F-R-E-E, no charge, no hidden agenda.
It's because we want people to realize that their voice holds information about them, and we can be free. Well, more free.
We can learn more about ourselves, enlightenment, awareness that helps us how we deal with ourselves in the world.
Absolutely. It takes all the hidden stuff and brings it to consciousness.
Well, having a better relationship with ourselves, having a better relationship with others, understanding ourselves better, and understanding and balancing our chemicals.
Absolutely.
You know what, Sherry? We have a membership site coming out next year, and I am so wanting you somehow to hook you guys into that. So
I would love it.
Yep, so that we can, because I think this is one of those, another tool in the toolbox that's so powerful to really help everybody figure this stuff out. Because I think too many people just think love is the answer to everything. And you know as well as I know that if your body chemistry is not working, it doesn't matter how much you love somebody.
Right.
Because you may not even still love them because your body chemistry is out of whack, right?
Yeah.
So this is a fascinating stuff. Go ahead and give us, we're running out of time here, give us your contact, give us the 2 websites again.
The Nano Voice, NANO, voice.org for this free download.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nutra, Nutra, sounds, that's plural, .com.
Okay.
And that's where you can do the free vocal prints.
Okay.
And it'll tell you there how to sign up for the classes. And we do have classes you pay for to be a professional and do this for other people. But for the ones public doing it for you, they're free.
That's awesome.
It's important.
I love that. And I thank you so much. I know we really had a real interesting thing getting this interview going. And between all the different sicknesses and the recordings and that, and I'm looking forward to getting home and getting my email that talks about myself, and I'm interested in getting my fiance on board and checking that out too, and hopefully we're compatible.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
And Sherry, I really, really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for being the intuitive, inquisitive person that you are, that went through all these lengths to create all of this. And I mean, you must have an awesome brain, because that's just taking that interest and curiosity of hearing things in people's voices and then making something out of it is incredible.
Well, thank you for allowing us to share with your audience.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'm hoping to have you back again, because I'm sure this is something that, we're gonna go. Josh and I are gonna go learn more about it.
Mm-hmm. I've already sent you an email on nutrasound.com.
And so we're on that, and we'll be talking more about this. And I'm seeing a collaboration in the works for when we rebrand next year.
That's great, and we love helping people who get stuck in their sexuality or their health or any part of them that's going on.
Awesome. Thank you so very, very much, Sherry. That's Sherry Edwards. And I'll be posting the websites on my Facebook as well for people that want to catch that. All right? Thank you so much, Sherry. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
And a Happy New Year and all that.
Okay.
So, Joshua, that was interesting.
Tanya, it was. I love that. Cool. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to add that to my repertoire.
I know.
As a healer and practitioner, that's intriguing.
I know, that's still so much fun. Now when people are talking to us, and we both are pretty intuitive about hearing. Craig, my best friend's got he can hear people when they're talking to him, just the slightest difference in what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think this is great to be finding out
having
the
information to be able to analyze differently. I mean, I'm really intrigued now to talk with Sherry a little bit more, and I want to go play with this. The world's a playground to me.
The more stuff we know, the better off it is, as long as we're coming from our feelings and not just our heads, because now we're coming from our ears too. Coming from our ears. We're going to end on that.
Oh, yeah, there's a good one.
You guys think about coming from our ears, and we will see you. We'll see you after Christmas or at Christmas. All righty. We're out. Bye.